Hello guys, how you doing? Hope you are doing fine. Okay, today we're gonna go ahead and continue what we have started last time about the water cycle. Okay, last time we have stopped at water cycle and weather. The main factor that causes daily weather conditions such as clouds, rain, or snow is the water cycle. You could ask me how the water cycle affects the weather. Okay, last time we have said that the sun is a main factor in the water cycle. Why? Because it's the main source for the heat to make the evaporation. Okay, now evaporation is essential to the process of the water cycle, okay, and forming the clouds, and the clouds start making the precipitation, okay. But weather is the result of how water, air, and temperature interact, okay. So weather is determined by the water, the air, and the temperature, okay, and the relationship between them. Now we'll see how.
Good morning, everyone. I am going to tell you how rain, snow, and hail happens. At the beginning, water turns into water vapors due to the heat of the sun. This process called evaporation. No one can see these water vapors because they are too small. Water vapors are like hot air. When air becomes hot, it goes up. As you go up, weather becomes cold. When water vapors reach cooler places, they come near to each other and again change into water. This process called condensation. Those water drops become bigger and heavier, so they will start falling down due to Earth gravity. This process called precipitation. Now, in this process, precipitation, rain, snow, or hail will happen depending on the temperature. So let's start first with rain. If the temperature is above freezing, cloud will form because the air holds lots of water drops. If there are lots of water drops in the clouds, they will become heavy and rain start to fall due to the earth gravity. Second, snow. If the temperature is below freezing, the water drops will stick together and start to freeze and then become ice crystals. And the reason why you can see different shapes for the ice crystals is because when the water drops stick together, they stick randomly, creating beautiful shapes in different sizes. Third, hail. If the temperature is below freezing and there are strong wind, the water drops will stick together and start to freeze and then become ice crystals. But when the ice crystals fall down, the wind will push them back up to the clouds. And when they fall down once more, the wind pushes them back up again. This will happen for several times, and as the crystals go up and down, they will start to grow in size and they will change from ice crystals into hailstones. After these hailstones become bigger and heavier, the wind will not be able to push them back up, causing them to fall toward the earth. And this is how rain, snow, and hail happens. So finally, to repeat the stages again, first is evaporation, second is condensation, and in the third stage, precipitation, snow, rain, or hail will happen. So, after discussing these types of weather, I want to tell you what kind of clothes should we wear in each one of them. In rainy weather, we should wear raincoats, rain hats, umbrellas, and rain boots. They are all made of rubber, which is waterproof to keep our inside clothes dry in this wet weather. In snowy weather, since the weather is real cold, you need to dress in layers. We should wear winter coats, gloves, scarves, sweaters, warm socks, and boots. Finally, what should we wear in hailstorm? Hail sometimes can cause injury because it falls down in great speed. So I suggest not to go outside. But if you had to, you should wear a jacket with a hood to protect your head and face from the hailstone. And use your umbrella for extra protection.
So we have said that weather is depending on water, air, and temperature. Okay, but mainly weather depends on the air temperature. Okay, we'll see how the air temperature affects precipitation. Okay, now water falls as rain when air in the atmosphere is above freezing. What do we mean by this? Okay, now when the water falls, as it falls from the sky or from the atmosphere to the earth's surface, okay, it passes through air. Okay, this air is not that cold, it's not that cold to allow the rain droplets to change its form to snow crystals. Okay, it's not that cold to change the rain droplets into snow. Okay, now about the sleet. If the air near Earth's surface is colder than air higher up, rain may freezes as it falls. Sleet forms when rain freezes on its way to Earth. Okay, and this is the sleet. Okay, as you can see, it's kind of small pieces of or small crystals of ice. Okay, when they form, they can cause damage to us. They can damage us. Okay, now as we have said, when air above Earth's surface or air is near Earth's surface is cold, okay, or cooler than the air higher up, as the rain droplets falls, it starts to change its form from the liquid droplet water to ice crystal and form the sleet. So how the snow can form? Snow form when Earth's temperature is very cold. Okay? When air temperature is very cold, the vapor will start to change its form to crystals, to ice crystals. Okay? These ice crystals can grow larger and larger enough and fall from the clouds. And this is the snow crystal as in the microscope, under the microscope. Okay? Now about the hail. How can hail form? Hail form when drops of water in clouds freezes and are coated with multiple layers of ice. And this is the hail. Okay, the difference between the hail and sleet, I think we can say that both of them are ice crystals. Okay, but one is larger than the other. Hail is more bigger and can cause a lot of damage, more than the sleet. Now we'll talk about water cycle and climate. Okay, but before going ahead in that, what is the difference between climate and weather? Okay, if I ask you this question, what might be your answer? Okay, now let's watch this video and know the difference between climate and weather.
Take a look outside your window. Is it hot and sunny? Is it cloudy and rainy? Is there snow on the ground? When you look out the window, you're seeing what the weather is like today. Weather is only temporary. For example, a blizzard can turn into a flood after just a few warm spring days. Climate, on the other hand, is more than just a few warm or cool days. Climate describes the typical weather conditions in an entire region for a very long time, 30 years or more. Keeping an eye on changing weather can help us plan ahead. We know that if thunderclouds are forming overhead, it's probably a good idea to stay inside. But it's important to keep an eye on changes in Earth's climate, too. And NASA has observed that Earth is getting warmer. Keeping track of Earth's sea level is one way that we can know how quickly the climate is changing. As Earth's climate warms, ice in Antarctica and Greenland is melting. This causes the level of the oceans to rise. NASA satellites can measure sea level rise from space. They can also track changes in the climate by measuring the clouds. We know that changes in the number, size, or location of clouds could be caused by a change in Earth's climate. NASA satellites are always orbiting Earth, looking down at our oceans and clouds, and they monitor Earth's climate in other ways too. It's important to keep an eye on our planet and all the ways that it's changing. Right now, it's the only one we've got. Find out more about our Earth at NASA Climate Kids.
So I think now you are able to determine what is the difference between climate and weather, okay? Climate is the pattern weather in some place for many years, okay? So this is kind of general, okay? But when we are talking about weather we are talking about something that happens daily, okay? Day by day. For example, I can tell that today is it's snowy. Tomorrow, for example, is sunny. Okay, today is kind of rainy. This is weather. But climate, when you are talking about something more general, okay, when you are talking about the weather in general in this place, is it kind of rainy all the year? Is it kind of dry? Is it kind of wet? This is about the climate, okay? What is the difference between climate and the weather, okay? Now, some places have wet climates. Other places have dry climate. Dry climate, like for example the deserts. Deserts, we can say about them they have dry climates. Okay. Now, how the water cycle affects climate? Okay. Now let's see. For example, places near the ocean often receive a lot of precipitation. The weather pattern is caused by water cycle. The sun's energy causes a lot of water to evaporate. As we know, okay, as we have said, that sun mainly heats the water and causes the water to change into gas called the water vapor. Okay, in places that contains a lot of water, what happens? There will be a lot of water vapor. And what will happen after the water vapor? The water vapor will rise to the sky and change to droplets of water. Okay? And then happen the condensation and the precipitation. Okay? Now, some places with where there is a forest or a lot of wooden in there, okay, we can say about that place it's kind of wetty, like for example, the rainforest. Okay, it's a forest, and how the evaporation happens through transpiration. Okay, the plant itself, the plant or the sun heats the water inside the plants and make evaporation. This evaporation will change through the water cycle, okay, and will go through the condensation, will go through the precipitation and make the rain again. Okay, this is the way the water affects the climate. This is the way. Okay, that's why we can say in rainforest they are wetty. Okay, the deserts are dry climate because there's no water there and there's no plants to make the evaporation to heat the water in there because there is no water already there. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson, and see you next time.